Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, and now Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Over the past 25 years, the Jurassic Park series has become one of the most successful film franchises in history, making over £3 billion at the worldwide box office. But how did it become so successful?
I'm Ali Plumb, BBC Radio 1's film critic, and to answer just that question, I'll be speaking to you, real-life fans of the series, dinosaur experts, and the cast and crew of the latest Jurassic outing, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
What's up, Ali?
Yep.
Thanks for letting me be in your documentary.
It's off the hook, as you kids say.
Welcome to the Secret of Jurassic Park. We'll be looking back at the iconic characters, the pioneering special effects, the classic soundtrack, and of course, the dinosaurs.
There's dinosaurs everywhere.
But where better to start than with the cast and crew of the latest installment of the series, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
This is gonna be awesome.
So, because Chris Pratt asked nicely, we've come all the way to Hollywood, California. Although Isla Nublar, the lush island off the coast of Costa Rica we all know and love from the movies, is largely filmed in Hawaii, many of the franchise's most iconic scenes were shot here in Hollywood on the Universal Studios lot. Part of the deal Chris Pratt made with us, that we could interview him and the rest of the cast and crew of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, is that we had to speak to them just a few steps away from the Jurassic Park theme park ride here in Universal Studios Hollywood. It's a nice life you live, isn't it? Well, it's a privilege and an honour.
It's certainly a privilege.
Oh yeah.
But not as much of an honor. Yeah.
So, what are you dating, like an accountant now, or
Owen,
ventriloquist?
stop it.
You love a dummy.
This is not why we're here.
You're in a sequel to a billion-dollar blockbuster. No big deal. What did you learn from the original Jurassic World that you wanted to improve on for this?
Instead of thinking of it in terms of like what could we improve upon, it's like how can we challenge ourselves? Where can we take this story? How can we do something that even surprises us?
I know why we're here.
A rescue op. Save the dinosaurs from the island that's about to explode. What could go wrong?
There's a genuine desire to create something that is lasting, that is meaningful. It's about the storytelling and lucky for us, the characters as well. And then of course, the dinosaurs.
Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur?
Hey, Blue.
We don't really believe it. It's like a miracle.
My fear is always the same, is that we won't be able to make the case to the audience that there should be another Jurassic Park movie. It was a very singular experience in 1993, and I remember seeing it even at the time not feeling like I needed anything more than the experience that I'd had. It's a creative challenge that I couldn't have imagined, and we both struggle with it every day and find solutions that make us very happy.
Well, I think that Jurassic World did a great job in bringing back the wonder of what was to see dinosaurs again on the screen, you know. But I think that, and I agree with Colin, that we wanted to bring back again a sense of fear, of threat, and terror that the very first Jurassic Park had.
You know me.
And the movie is very interesting how it evolves. It gives you all the things that you're expecting from a Jurassic movie on the first half, but the second half turns into a very different movie, more claustrophobic, darker, a little bit of a gothic element to it that I really love.
Will we see callbacks or references to the older movies, or is it trying to be its own thing?
I think for sure you will see it because it's part of the fun of watching these movies. We all understand that the audience has a very emotional connection with these movies, and they love to see when you refer to character, situation, lines that we saw in other films, and I really enjoyed that.
The thing that we would consistently say
is we would say, oh, this is classic Jurassic.
Yeah.
Like you need those things. You need that kind of those touchstones so that you know the world that you're in.
You do have yourselves in a tough position. You've got to follow up the success of Jurassic World, and also there's the ghost of one of the best summer blockbusters ever.
Right.
Just always there.
Right.
And now 25 years on, you have Jeff Goldblum back.
Oh my gosh,
That's true.
I know.
These creatures were here before us. And if we're not careful, they're gonna be here after.
I've met Jeff Goldblum before, but it was before we did Jurassic World. And I met him now, and meeting him there, just having him say, oh, I'm so excited to be here, you know, I'm so excited, this is gonna be great. Like, just him saying that he was excited to be here was like getting kind of like an unofficial endorsement. Like, you know.
Gold star.
Like to have him be a part of this, it's almost like getting his blessing, kind of.
Absolutely.
And it just makes it a real Jurassic movie.
Here I am talking about dinosaurs again.
I love that the poster for this film has the tagline of Life Finds a Way.
Really? It has Life Finds a Way?
But I'm slightly annoyed because it should be Life Finds a Way.
Life finds a way. It has to include my stuttering, my fumfering, and trademark stuttering, yes. Life finds a way, yeah, how come? Now I'm annoyed too.
Exactly
Now
right.
you've got me riled up.
Look, we'll fix it in post. But right now, I'm very angry.
Or I can write in. We can go and, go to all the theaters and write in. Anybody who wants to go to the theaters, you have my permission. You have a doctor's excuse now. Put in that,
Life cannot be contained. Life breaks free. Life finds a way.
What was it like working with Jeff Goldblum?
I mean, it's impossible not to get right Ian Malcolm if you bring back Jeff Goldblum.
He just goes and does it.
Yeah, it was fun. He doesn't have a major role in the movie, but it's a very significant one.
it's a good character. I like black clothing and leather goods and a nice tinted frame here and there.
From the very first moment that we saw on set Jeff Goldblum dressed up as Malcolm was incredible. It was more than 20 years, I think, the last time he played Ian Malcolm.
This is magnificent.
Oh yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
You know, but he was there from the very first take. You know, it was very impressive.
So you've been brought back for this film. Have you been telling either Sam or Laura what a good time you've been having, how it was such a blast? Has the conversation come up at all?
Oh no, I'm sure they're keeping track, and I mean, if they're like me, they're fans of it, I'll bet, and I'm sure they'll be asked to do more things.
So you two dig up dinosaurs?
Well.
Can I ask if you have met either Sam Neill or Laura Dern?
Oh yeah, with Laura Dern. She always was so enthusiastic and excited and passionate about the movie and supportive and like, you're gonna be great, and you know what I mean? Like, it just made me feel a part of it. She was very like warm and inclusive, and I hope that she's in future films, that would be best, I think.
Whereas with you, she was awful.
Yeah. I was like, wow, Laura Dern is not nearly as nice as I thought she would be.
In Jurassic Park, you were dispatched off camera, and you discover that you're dead.
Oh, Mr. Arnold.
Because of the arm. What was going on there?
I was supposed to go to Hawaii and be chased by some raptors through the fields or through the complex or whatever, but there was a storm, hurricane came through and destroyed the set, so I never went to Hawaii.
Nightmare.
So they just put my arm on a wall and said, "You're dead."
Where did the come from?
I don't know whether it was my idea or I'm going to hazard a guess, because Sam Neill was such a sort of inspired, actor with so many good ideas, just about his character, I can't believe that idea of the way he took off the glasses. Didn't come from Sam himself.
Yeah, I'm sure he would say, yes, it was mine, absolutely.
How'd you do this? I'll show you.
I haven't met Laura Dern or Sam Neill, but I did meet a guy at the airport that I thought was Richard Attenborough.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
I said how grateful I was. And he was like, do you think I'm Richard Attenborough? I was like, oh, I guess you're not. But he was wearing the whole outfit, so he was like he was going to a Comic-Con or something. He's totally dressed up as Richard Attenborough.
I don't blame people for their mistakes.
Don't be indignant with me, sir.
But I do ask that they pay for them.
Clearly wearing your Richard Attenborough costume
Like
you
he
picked
had
up
like
at
the hat.
the hat
he had
and the
white
freaking
outfit.
the white linen
yes,
and everything.
Yeah,
Like, come
he
on.
took a picture. He took a stealth picture.
Yeah, I did, right?
remember,
I was like, tell me that's not Richard Attenborough. She was like, that's definitely not Richard Attenborough. I was like, fine.
He was talking about Mr. DNA.
Yeah, yeah.
All right?
Mr. DNA, where did you come from? From your blood.
To me, Jurassic Park, it is the hero's journey, and the story of dinosaurs in the context of Jurassic Park is these animals lived, they lived for a while, they died, and then they are resurrected to be heroes again. I find there to be something really elemental and mythical in the idea that these creatures that existed once long ago have been brought back and have the opportunity to potentially reclaim their rightful place on the Earth.
Plus, dinosaurs are cool.
Dinosaurs are awesome.
Ah, yes, of course, the dinosaurs. And as impressive as these models are, I know somewhere closer to home that actually has the real thing. I've come to the Natural History Museum in West London to find out more about the real stars of the Jurassic Park movies, sorry Chris, the dinosaurs. And to work out how many of them have appeared in the films, let's speak to a genuine dinosaur expert.
So my name's Professor Paul Barrett, and I'm one of the dinosaur specialists here at the Natural History Museum.
No, not that dinosaur expert. This dinosaur expert.
Hello, my name's Kian. I'm 8 years old and I love dinosaurs. These are the dinosaurs that appear in the Jurassic Park movies. Allosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Apatosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Compsognathus, Corythosaurus, Dilophosaurus, Dimorphodon, Gallimimus, Indominus rex, Mamenchisaurus, Mosasaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Pteranodon, Spinosaurus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Velociraptor.
Hey, wait a minute. Haven't you forgotten one?
Oh yeah, Tyrannosaurus rex.
Yeah, seems about right. Yes, I really did just get an 8-year-old boy to read out all the complicated dinosaur names, so I didn't have to.
What do you call a blind dinosaur?
I don't know. What do you call a blind dinosaur?
Do you think he saw us?
Okay, we were just kidding. Let's go back to the Natural History Museum and our real dinosaur expert, Professor Paul Barrett.
Well, I was an undergrad when Jurassic Park came out. I'd just finished my finals, and I was lucky enough that it actually gave me my first real paid job in paleontology. There's a huge amount of media attention building around the launch of the movie, and here at the Natural History Museum, my predecessor as the dinosaur curator, Angela Milner, was overwhelmed, and so she needed to take on a part-time member of staff to help out with all of the various things that went along with the movie.
What was it like at that time in the museum?
The museum was frantic at the time because literally there's a huge amount of public interest coming in. Angela was lucky enough, for example, to be invited to the premiere of the movie in Leicester Square, so walked on the red carpet with the cast as she was going in. So this was a crazy time as far as the museum was concerned. So there was a huge amount of media hype around it already, but I don't think anyone realised quite what a Kickstarter it would be in terms of really igniting public interest in the subject. Jurassic Park being 25 years old, it's quite a frightening thought for me. But now we're coming into a new cycle with this new set of movies on the same theme, and it'll be interesting to see if we get that same blip of interest again.
So, Jurassic Park may have had a very positive effect on our interest in dinosaurs, but how scientifically accurate are these Jurassic films? Dr. Susanna Maidment gives us her rundown of the top 5 science fictions from the Jurassic adventures so far.
Probably the first one, and kind of the most profound, is the whole concept of the film, which is that we find dinosaur blood from a mosquito and use the DNA from that blood to reconstruct dinosaurs. Now, the problem with that whole concept are kind of numerous. I mean, firstly, of course, we don't actually have any DNA from dinosaurs. And I'm not going to say that we never could have any DNA from dinosaurs, but currently the oldest DNA that we have in the fossil record is about 65 million years younger than when the dinosaurs died out.
And virtual reality displays show our geneticists the gaps in the DNA sequence.
Obviously, there were fragments of DNA, and they had to identify the holes in the genome. Now, the problem with that whole concept is that you need to know the whole genome before you can identify where the holes are in it. And then if you were going to choose an animal to fill in those gaps, it would be hard to find a vertebrate more distantly related to dinosaurs than a frog. I mean, it would have been better to use human DNA to fill in those gaps because humans are more closely related to dinosaurs than frogs are. I have a bigger problem, though, with the vegetation.
Shouldn't be here.
So there's this scene in the film where they're going along and the paleobotanist, she gets a leaf and she goes, we thought these were extinct since the Cretaceous.
Alan, this species of Variformin's been extinct since the Cretaceous period. I mean, this.
How did they reconstruct the leaves? Leaves don't have blood. Where did they get the DNA for the leaves? This is a complete mystery. They're not explained throughout the entire film. How are these plants here?
Clever girl.
The velociraptors are very large. Now, Velociraptor was probably about the size of, I don't know, a turkey or something in real life. It was a much smaller dinosaur. But today, with today's knowledge about fossils, also all the velociraptors are naked in Jurassic Park. So we now know that all of the velociraptors would have been covered in feathers. And in Jurassic Park, they're not. And they're also not in Jurassic World. If they put feathers on them for Jurassic World to update the kind of scientific accuracy, you would just have basically a load of giant turkeys running around in a field. And I just don't think that's that scary. I actually really like the T-Rex. I mean, the T-Rex is terrifying in Jurassic. It's absolutely terrifying. But one thing that's definitely wrong about it is the speed that it moved.
Must go faster.
There's been a lot of debate over the years about how fast T-Rex could run, but the most recent work, really from last year and this year, has suggested that actually it probably couldn't run faster than about 10 miles an hour. So that idea of it chasing down the Jeep is completely unrealistic. There's no way. I mean, you could have probably gone out for quite a fast jog and maybe outrun it. So yeah, no worries if you're in a Jeep.
I spoke to, name drop, Steven Spielberg, and he said that the Dilophosaurus, he essentially made it up.
Yeah.
I invented that dinosaur. That was my own original invention. I wanted a dinosaur that spit venom, but when he spit venom, he hooded like a cobra.
It pops this frill up and it spits some sort of poison. Yeah, that's all. There's no evidence that it had either a frill or poison.
I wasn't satisfied to let him hood. I needed the hood to shake. Kind of like just flap like a flag.
Yeah, well, it was a nice part of the story.
Sure.
It's entirely made up.
That was the one dinosaur I don't even apologize for it because I love the Dilophosaurus so much. But that dinosaur was more fiction than science.
But I have to say, I still absolutely love it. It's an absolutely brilliant film.
Tim, can you tell me what they are?
The key thing about Jurassic Park when it came out was it really tried to make the animals look like real animals rather than B-movie monsters. And because of that, they became much more convincing, they were much more dynamic, and I think they really got people's imaginations in a way they simply hadn't before.
When people think dinosaurs, they think Jurassic Park.
It's a dinosaur.
The dinosaurs looked completely real.
Yeah, there's that old adage that there are only 7 stories or something like that, but a lot of those stories we weren't able to tell until the technology was available.
Yeah, so that's true.
You know, like you look back at the original Godzilla, it's like, that's cool and entertaining at that time, but like this was mind-blowing technology on screen.
And it was also pretty perfect. Like if you watch the movie now, it's astonishing.
Jurassic is a landmark moment in film history. It was the first time that an audience were able to see convincingly, almost absolutely convincingly, a extinct entity walk. And that's the big difference. Animatronics can't walk.
The technology at the time, Dennis Muren and Stan Winston. Stan, who started to make things like this, you know, beautiful things that hadn't been rendered in the same way. It's created something that when people saw it, just the spectacle of the technology and the rendering of the dinosaurs was something to see.
Do you think dinosaurs are scarier when they are practical or animatronic?
I think when you have an animatronic, you capture a soul that is difficult to capture with CGI. And when I'm saying that, I would be very cautious because CGI is getting better and better and better.
Is it fair to say that for Fallen Kingdom, we are seeing a return to a bigger proportion of the creatures being made by people like you?
I think we're seeing the biggest portion.
She's tracked. Okay, come on.
You know, with today's technology, it's fantastic. We can take the CGI design.
Are you okay? I'm okay.
And have that printed at full size, which is exactly what we did for this. For all of the characters that we create, which are fantasy characters, they are exactly that, they're fantasy characters. And to be in the presence of a T-Rex, which you know once walked the face of this earth, is a very, very different experience.
To be clear, you have the power, should you wish, to print a T-Rex.
Yes, absolutely. From that size to full size. Yeah.
Of course, some dinosaurs
Sick!
are a bit more realistic than others.
It's not a golden retriever.
How many movies get their own theme park ride? A few, they do. But how many movies about a theme park get their own theme park ride, which itself is a recreation of a theme park? I think it's just the one.
Plus, as predicted in the movie,
And then there's the merchandise.
over the years, pretty much any merchandisable product you can think of has had the Jurassic Park logo slapped on it.
Hey, I'm Steven Spielberg. I'm not.
As well as numerous toys,
Jurassic Park, where the giant dinosaurs live again.
What's that Funko Pop doll? That's fun.
tie-ins,
The Jurassic Park Extra Value Meal.
and even its own Lego movie.
It's the one thing we never accounted for. She's got a tummy ache!
As well as countless incredible online memes.
Yes, yes, yes!
Including the ultimate musical mashup, where John Williams' iconic score meets a melodica? I think it's a melodica. It could be a very sick cat.
They do move in herds.
I don't think they get every note right.
I like any manner of attempt at music. I think the qualification for making music is that you love it.
Tell me honestly, do you ever find yourself humming the theme tune?
Do you know the lyrics to it?
No.
Here's the first part. You must learn this. In Jurassic Park, scary in the dark, I'm so scared that I'll be eaten.
The man who composed the theme tune is a man called John Williams, and he's been responsible for so many amazing soundtracks, everything from Harry Potter to E.T. and obviously Jurassic Park, and he just has this way of really feeling the film and setting the perfect music for it, and it just becomes iconic. I mean, he's this Star Wars guy. This is the guy who did Superman. This is the guy who did Indiana Jones. He knows how to make a film, I mean, literally sing.
What I try to do with the music is to give a sense of wonder and maybe even with a slight sense of religiosity in this way we would be acculturated to these harmonies and so on, so that the orchestra makes a beautiful statement, that almost like you would enter a cathedral, maybe.
The first film, John Williams' score is a big part of its success. What is it like including his music in a movie you're making?
I think it's impossible to imagine a Jurassic movie without the main theme from John Williams, exactly the same way that it's impossible to imagine a Superman or a James Bond movie without the famous melodies that they had. We're doing the second movie from Jurassic World, but it's the fifth from Jurassic Park. You have a rich legacy of music.
Jurassic Park has always been in our minds when we're making records, because with Falling, like the ticka, we always were like, it's kind of like Jurassic Park. When you see like the ripple in the water, when like obviously it made an impression on us as children.
That hallowed day when I introduced Time on Stage at Big Weekend.
How you doing, ho?
And they said, okay, fine, if we're going to perform at Big Weekend, you have to get the crowd to sing the Jurassic Park theme tune to welcome us on stage. I seem to remember doing like conductor arms as well.
Oh, it's like I'm there.
But they really, really rose to the challenge. And I would say it was pitch perfect.
Congrats to everyone that knows the Jurassic Park theme. I thought it was a deep cut. Everyone was singing it loud and proud.
Put your hands together for high!
Props to Jurassic Park. Props to John Williams.
Clever girl. No, there wasn't any of that.
And let's hear from the people who actually made the series a success. You, the fans.
Now tell me, if I were to say, what's your favourite dinosaur movie, what would the answer be?
It has to be Jurassic Park every time.
I mean, what else was it going to be?
Oh, Jurassic Park is definitely the best, greatest of all time.
Would you say it's the original and never any of the others?
It can't be beaten,
Now, when did you first watch the original Jurassic Park?
I was probably 3 years old. My dad bought me it on videotape. And there was, when you're rewatching the videotape, it all goes blurry at the bit when the T-Rex breaks out, because I rewatched that so many times.
My favourite dinosaurs are T-Rex.
I mean, come on.
T-Rex, they're just great, they're just amazing.
Of all the dinosaurs that have ever existed that have appeared in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, what have been your favourites?
It's got to be the Velociraptor. Yeah, that thing's absolutely terrifying. It just looks great in the movie as well. The effects were fantastic.
When they're hiding from the velociraptors, kind of creepy, but also kind of cool, the idea of velociraptors creeping up on these people.
Still watch today and it still gives me goosebumps watching the raptors in the kitchen scene, definitely.
I mean, you're in the Natural History Museum wearing a Jurassic Park t-shirt.
Yeah, I've actually had this since I was 12 when I visited Universal Studios in Orlando. And somehow it still fits, so it's pretty good.
Where did you get that?
Oh, this? I got it on eBay. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I got it for $150, but the mint condition one goes for $300.
Didn't occur to you maybe that's in poor taste?
The shirt? Yeah, no, it did. I understand people died. It was terrible, but that first park was legit.
Why was the original Jurassic Park such a massive success?
The movie was amazing.
I was 13 at the time when it came out, and man, I'll never forget. I saw it twice opening weekend, and that was something we never got to do as kids, so that's pretty cool.
That book, that Michael Crichton book, is a whale of a tale and beautifully told.
The easy answer would be to talk about the technology and how overwhelming was what they did in that film, but I think it was the emotion. I think Steven did a very emotional film. He really loved dinosaurs, and he really made the audience love dinosaurs the way we still love them nowadays.
Seeing it for the first time, it was a stunning experience. Yes, yes. Yeah, it was delicious. That was pretty good. You know, that was pretty wonderful. Yeah. You know.
It was a phenomenon. It swept the whole world, and it was an event.
And for the first time, man and dinosaur shared the earth.
It was one of those things you knew from the trailer.
It happened at a place called Jurassic Park.
That you were going to see that movie in the theater.
I didn't create Jurassic Park. Michael Crichton did, and Steven Spielberg did. I have so much respect for what they built. I am the heir to nothing, and I'm entitled to none of it.
So we've mentioned the dinosaurs, the music, and the great characters, but whenever we ask anyone about Jurassic Park, one name just keeps coming up, and it's not Nedry.
I'm totally unappreciated in my time.
It's some guy called Steven Spielberg.
It was a Steven Spielberg movie.
Steven Spielberg is a genius and knows how to tell a beautiful story in motion pictures.
I always wanted to work with Steven Spielberg. So suddenly I had the chance of doing a movie in Hollywood and at the same time working with Steven. So it was a perfect opportunity.
With Steven Spielberg, what is it like getting notes from him?
It's one filmmaker talking to another. Just one of them happens to be the greatest filmmaker of all time, and one of them is a person.
You got to pretend like you're a colleague.
This is normal.
In fact, the whole time you're just like, whatever you think, I'll defer to you, sir.
You should wear a pink feather hat. Yes, I should.
You're right. I trust you.
Great idea. Jurassic Park. Why do you think, in retrospect, 25 years on, it is so successful?
Well, because dinosaurs and DNA is a prize-winning combination, or at least it's an audience-grabbing combination. That's what got me seduced to direct the movie, when Michael Crichton simply described the book that he wouldn't tell me anything about, except it's about dinosaurs and DNA. That was thematic of why being able to, you can always bring dinosaurs back, but it's incredible. Nobody believes it because there's no scientific basis for fact. But Crichton found a way to make audiences around the world believe that you actually can scientifically bring the blood of a dinosaur, clone it, and rehatch it, and then genetically engineer an actual living, breathing animal from the Cretaceous or Jurassic period.
After careful consideration, what makes Jurassic Park so special is the following. There's the stars, the music, the dinosaurs, of course, the story with its believable science, the merchandise, the theme park rides, and the undefinable magic of one Mr. Steven Spielberg. And with that, the Secret of Jurassic Park is now closed.
Human femur bone, no big deal.
Cut, print, great take.
Got it.
Thanks for watching. For more, check out my BBC iPlayer show, Movies with Ali Plumb, and don't forget to listen to me on Greg James's show on BBC Radio 1 every Thursday at about 6:15, where you can hear the very latest movie reviews from yours truly.